All right, we're all set to start. Okay, step 1. And take a breath. In through our nose, hold it, then out through your mouth. Again. Okay, and we're going to think about something that we're thankful for or that we appreciate. We're going to take a minute to focus on that. I'm thankful we're taking a minute to be quiet in our minds.
I'm thankful I'm doing art.
Art's always good, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to pick up our pencils. We're going to start with a pencil, a tile, which is 3 inches by 3 inches, or 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, or 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters. You can make it yourself with your ruler. You have a pen, we have a pencil,
Pen,
we have a tortillon,
pencil,
or a paper smudging stump. And we're going to go through all the steps together.
And this thing. 'Cause why not?
All right, step 1, we're going to pick up our pencils to make sure that we're comfortable where we're seated. And then we're going to look at our tile, and in our tile, we're going to put a dot in each of the corners, about a finger width in from each of the corners. So we've done our gratitude, we've done our corner dots, and now we're going to make our border. Making our border, we're going to connect the dots with our pencil. It's just to give us an idea where we want to work, but it's not finite. We don't have to just stay within the border. We can go bigger, we can go smaller. It doesn't confine us.
It's always go big or go home.
That's right. Now we're going to use our pencil for the next step, which is making a string, and a string just divides the tile into smaller sections in order to work. So because it's Zentangle, the mindful drawing method, we're going to make a Z or a Z, depending on where you're from. And we're going to start at the midway point of one side, and we're going to go to the midway point of the top, and then the center point at the bottom, and then the midway point on the right side. And we're going to connect them all up. Loosely, it doesn't have to be exact.
And just in case, I'm just gonna outline the shape in pen.
There you go. And we're going to put our pencils away for now. We're going to pick up our pens. And of the 4 sections, we've done with our pencil, we're going to pick one, and we're going to start with the first one. And we're going to do crescent moon, because for anybody starting Zentangle, it's always the first one we teach. So I'm going to do crescent moon, which looks like this here, in the small section. I'm going to start with a half moon along the line of the section. And depending on how big I did it, I'm going to leave at least that much space again 2 times before I do another one beside it. Now, first step is to go all the way around the triangular shape. Maybe you don't have a triangular shape. If you picked a different section, you might have more of a oblong parallelogram or
and if you're
rhombus or whatever shape you should have.
And if you've done that, you should fill in the half moons with color or black.
Yeah, you're going to ink in the semicircles or the ladybug shapes that you just did. And you're going to be careful to make sure that there's no white spots.
Like that.
And then we're going to proceed to do all of our little ladybug shapes all the way around our tile. And you're going to have as many as you're going to have. It doesn't matter if we have the same number. It doesn't matter if you did yours big or small, because everybody's going to draw them the way they can, and nobody else can draw like you. And that's the beauty of it, because it'll all work out exactly as it's meant to when we all follow the same steps. And if it's too fast, pause the video and then catch up and come back.
Then, after you're done that, you should outline the half moon.
What we call it when we outline a Zentangle. You have an aura that you're trying to put around it.
You're supposed to aura the crescent moon shape thingies. And keep on doing that until you run out of room. But you cannot pass a line. See how I did that? You're supposed to do this, then do like this, then do like this, then do like this.
Awesome. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do a different. Okay, so we're going to start at one of our ladybug shapes, and we're going to do an aura, which is just echoing the shape and size and the line from one side of the ladybug to the other. And then we're going to do the same aura, same sized aura on all of our ladybugs. And we're going to work our way around, trying to make the auras about the same distance from the ladybug shape on all of them as best we can. There's no perfect expectation of anything. And after you do one aura, we're going to do a second one, and we're going to try and make it as far away from the first aura as the first aura is from the ladybug shape. And when you get closer to where you've done more stuff, you're going to get close to bumping in to the tangle beside. But in Zentangle, we try not to cross over any drawn lines. That's what my friend was saying earlier. So now this one, I'm going to be able to do my second aura, and it's not going to touch this one. But starting the next one, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to frame out this square. And I'm going to ink it in. And then I'm going to start my aura the same distance away on this one. And then I'm going to do the same distance away on this one. And this one's not going to have room. So I'm going to start here. And this one's going to start a little bit closer. And this one again. And then, now that we have it all closed in, we're just going to keep echoing the shape of the line inside until we don't have anywhere else to go. Okay? And that, I'm going to go back and echo in the section where we did our crescent moon and try and make it a little more obvious. We can connect up our crescent moons to the line we did if we want, and if we don't want, that's okay too, because it's yours. Okay, number 2. What are we doing for number 2?
Number 2, we are doing which I think is my favorite, holly ball.
Okay, so we're going to pick another section of the 3 we have left. I'm going to take a big section because holly ball is good for filling in a big spot, right? And holly ball is a section. I'm going to ink in where we're going to draw it here first.
I already did.
Perfect. So what we learn for a crescent moon is aura, and what we learn in holly ball is drawing behind. So we're going to divide the section with one line. It doesn't matter what direction you go in. I usually try and pick the longest section and draw one line, And then beside it, I'm gonna draw a parallel line to make like a board or a strap or whatever you wanna imagine it to be. And to help myself draw the line, I'm gonna rotate my tile. And then I'm gonna draw another line across my tile, but when I get to the first line I've already drawn, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna lift my pen, I'm gonna cross that line, I'm gonna set my pen down on the other side, and then I'm gonna finish that stroke. And then I'm gonna echo that line to finish my board. And I'm gonna stop when I get to the first one I did, pick up my pen, cross over, and do it again. And then I'm going to keep rotating my tile, and I'm going to continue to do my holly ball lines, whatever which way I see fit, until my section is full of holly ball. And the further you go in your section, the more you have to focus on not going over all the lines you've done already. So why is this your favorite?
It's my favorite because it's simple.
But all of them are simple. That's the beauty of Zentangle. They're all
I can say different.
within six steps or less. Holly ball's 2 steps, right? Draw a line beside the line. I think you have too many vertical lines and nothing really diagonal.
It's better the more lines you have.
Yeah, it looks a little more intricate, right?
It's fine with you doing like 5. It's fine.
Yeah, you gotta do
But
it.
the more you do, the better.
Well, you gotta see what room you got to work with, right? Okay, I think I got enough of my holly ball. Are you good with your holly ball? Or
No.
you still got more? Well, you have a bigger section, so that makes sense.
Just give me a little bit of time.
I got all the time in the world.
No, you don't.
While you're finishing holly ball, I'm gonna ink in the rest of my tile. You can't see your lovely work.
Ta-da!
Awesome. Are we ready for number 3? You still have a nice loose grip on your pen? Number 3, we're going to do, what do we have to do? We did 2 already? So we're not doing?
Let's do night.
We have to do this one.
Okay, sure.
All right? So we'll do printemps because that's the next one we have to do. And this is about how you have to, it's sort of like in Hollybot, the way you imagine how stuff goes. But it's kind of swirly. And then we'll do Knightsbridge for the last one. Okay, so Knightsbridge is the next one. Today we're doing printemps. And for printemps, we start with a dot or a circle. And make it like a little ball. And then we're just gonna go around it maybe once, twice, and then we're gonna tuck it back in like a cinnamon roll. And sort of like the crescent moon, we're gonna try and keep the circles about the same size.
Like this?
Yep. Except this is what you call adding weight, and we're just gonna retrace the left. I'm gonna pick the left side because that's where I've got more pink, and I'm gonna retrace the line a little bit on the inside so I can make it look thicker. That's called adding weight. Okay, now we're going to do another one, but for printing, we're practicing drawing up close, like two tangles close, bumping up against each other. So I'm going to do my dot here, and then I'm going to make it a little bigger, and then I'm going to go one time around, no problem. But on my second time, I'm getting really close to this one. So when I get there, I'm going to stop my pen, I'm going to lift it to the other side of the printout, then I'm going to finish it and tuck it in. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to add weight. Now I'm going to go again beside these ones, and it's easier to practice bumping up against them when you purposely start closer. And sometimes you can add your weight on the outside of your line, and sometimes you can add your weight on the inside of your line. And it doesn't matter, but it
just
gives
like
the
all
same
your weight's
effect.
on the inside of you.
Exactly. The weight is all on the inside of you. Perfect. So I'm going to do another one over here, and then we're going to just proceed to fill our section, however big it is for you, however many you got to do. Work away at your own pace. Pause the video if it's going too fast. And remember to breathe.
I'm still adding weight to mine.
That's okay. There's no timetable for it. You can take 2 minutes, you can take 10.
You could take an hour.
That's it.
You could take 10 years. Or 15 years. Or 1,500 years.
Well, I think it's worthwhile practicing the method for the next 15
And if
years.
you physically can't do it, just don't try.
I don't
Well, you
think
can still
that's good.
try, but you don't need to finish.
I think it's more that you should always try, even if something scares you. But it's important not to have expectations of what you think yours is supposed to look like, because any given day you're going to draw different based on what you're thinking about.
Ours looks way different.
Yeah, see?
Well,
even though we followed all the same steps.
It's got the same corners except for the volleyball. And while I'm waiting, I'm gonna add another thing that most Zentangle adds, and that is...
Well, you're gonna show one way of how to accentuate our holly ball.
Are you sure you're all right?
So, Kieran's... You wanna do tipple? So, he's gonna go back into his holly ball because he has time and he knows what he wants to do next. But he wants to fill in the gaps between the boards and give it a different effect.
With any marker. I got a black marker right here.
He's gonna add some color to his, and you're welcome to do that too. I just like to finish all of the drawing, and then I like to do coloring after. But if you're inking in the space between, then sometimes you're still working on that tangle. I think it counts right. Yeah, you gotta make sure your art is there so people can see what's up. And if you're doing it close to the edge of the section, you just have to imagine where it would stop. and where it would continue. And ideally, you're gonna go until the whole section is full.
What I love about Hollybock, fill in the gaps. It takes so long, yet so common.
Yeah, inking it in is really the quiet part, right? Because it's almost like we know how to do it. And whenever we do something that is already familiar or easy for us, then our brain doesn't have to think and it takes a break. And that's when we get the calm. That's why the strokes are simple for all the tangles, so that you can do them without having to stress out about what it looks like. I like the effect of us doing the same stuff differently, and then everybody can see how we can diversify our unique
Yes.
tiles even with the same instructions, right?
Uniqueness of tiles.
You want to change the tile?
Mhm.
Okay, how about we do that one after? Because right now we're doing the intro tile, so we still got to do the basic ones first.
It's like 8 o'clock.
It's okay. All right, for the last one, we're going to do Knightsbridge, which is a grid tangle. So in the section you have left, we're going to use our pens and we're going to divide it in half. And then we're going to divide one half in half again, and the other in half again. And then we're going to get that, and we're going to turn it the other direction. And we're going to try and make a grid of squares that are approximately the same size. And then we're going to pick it. We're going to fill in every other square. But to know which ones you're going to do, if we pick this one to be black, then any of the corners, then we automatically know that this one's also going to be black, and this one's going to be black. And this one's going to be black, and this one, and this one, and yours might be in a different pattern, but that's okay. I'm going to need to get a thicker marker to color mine in more efficiently. So with Knightsbridge, one square is black, the other one's left white. Or if you're using a different color paper, well then one is colored in and one is not. And you get like a checkerboard pattern when it's all said and done.
It's technically just and some people like to call it a chessboard.
Oh, it could also be a chessboard.
Because they're the exact same thing.
Indeed.
They're just different pieces.
That's right.
Fun fact.
And now that I have changed thickness of the pen, I have also changed the shape of my lines.
Thing. I'm gonna call it thing.
So I'm just gonna redraw my grid.
And I am done. But this is what the final
We're not done, we have to shade still. You're just drawing your tangles that you're done.
Sorry about that. Just had to
No
deal with.
apologies necessary.
Just had to deal with brothers.
So maybe we'll do this like a mindful Monday, where we do full tangle, all the steps, and then we'll do like 10-minute Tuesdays. So we'll just do mono tangles or single tangles.
And if you remember what this means, this is a shader. But you could just roll a piece of paper up and just tape it and just cut. And look. This is a shader because I add to my hollywood some pencil on the ends of a line. I shade. So now it's shaded. You can't really see it through the camera, but it looks very well from if you do it in person.
And when we're all the way done, we'll hold them closer in so people can see the finish. But it's not about the finish, it's about the process, right? When we're calm.
And mainly the finish, yeah. Because you can't finish the process if it's never finished.
What I mean is, it's not the end result. It doesn't matter what the tile looks like. It's great to have something cool at the end of it. Which is kind of why we combine these patterns that don't really mean anything or look like anything else. But because they don't look like anything, like if I told you before today to draw a holly ball, would you know what that was? Well, you would,
Yeah.
but would anybody else? Probably not, right?
Some
Okay,
people may
true.
do Zentangle.
So I have all 4 of my tiles done. The next step is to
Shade.
do the shade. So I'm gonna put the cap on my pen.
Shading.
We're gonna take our pencil and we're gonna start back with the first one we did, which is Crescent Moon. And for Crescent Moon,
No, shade crescent
we're
moon.
gonna hold our pencils, not like you're doing a math test or a math question, but on a side, so that you're just gonna lay a little bit of the lead on the white spot. There's no point putting shade on the black spot because you're not gonna see it. So just where the white spots between the crescent moons, where there seems to be like a V created, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna add all of my shade towards where those V's are created, sort of mimicking the line. And then we're gonna get our tortilla.
I'm done with my
And we're gonna
shading.
hold that on the same angle as we hold our pencil. Did you do all of your shapes? Well, you haven't done your printout yet.
I don't shade pretty hard.
Well, you can have your
Wait.
choice for sure as to what you like to shade, and maybe you're happy with the way it how it looks right when you're done your tangles, and that's cool too. But when you add a little bit of shade, it just changes the dimension of the tile. Like if I was to just add shade to the edge of the section, and I move my tortillon in little circles, then I can make some circles sit behind and others come to the fore. So when we're shading volleyball, which is the one with all the lines, we're going to look at that first line we did, and then we're going to take a look and see which boards cross under it. And this is my main board, the first one I did, and I'm going to put a little bit of pencil on the right and on the left of all the boards that tuck under that main board. And then I'm going to look at the other ones, and I'm going to see that these are unders, and this is under, and this is under, and this one, and this one, and this one is under. And I'm going to get my tortilla, and I'm going to lightly buff either side of the pencil, but only as thick as the board is, so that you can see the shade more clearly. If you do it outside of the line, then you can't tell exactly what you're trying to do. And it sort of gives the illusion that it's creating a shadow if you look from above.
You look up from above.
All right, for printemps, we're gonna look the first one we drew, and then we're gonna hold our pencil on the side, and we're gonna do like a C shape stroke with our pencil all the way around the first one. And whenever we shade it, you can see gently, without smudging any of the shade into that first one, that it makes it look like it's sitting on top of the rest. And then for the other ones that sit above, we're going to put a little bit more carbon or shade. And we're going to use our tortilla to soften it. Shading is not my strong suit, so I am trying to practice more, but still, when I see how well other people can do it, I sometimes get a little critical, but that's all for naught. The next one we're going to shade is our Knightsbridge, and I like with the grids is if you do like an L shape in the square, but facing the same direction in all the squares. And if I don't have the bottom, then I'm just going to do the top. And then whenever you buff it out, it sort of gives the illusion all right. Have you got? We've done our shade. What's the next step? Number 7.
Admire. Oh.
Where's your chop? Have you
Oh,
claimed
yeah.
it as an artist yet?
You have to do your chop.
So every artist leaves their mark on their work, and what you need to do is find a nice space, and you're going to put your initials, and it can be any version of your initials or any mark you think is going to identify your tile. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to do my artist mark or my chop. Then on the back, you can do Chasing Creations and the date. And we did volleyball. Crescent moon. Knightsbridge.
I'm not going to do that because that's too much work.
And printemps. And then the last step of the method is, of course, put the cap on our pen, pick up our tile, and bring it a little closer so that you can show what we did.
Mine, hers, mine, hers, mine, hers.
And we're going to appreciate the time we took to quiet our mind and appreciate a little quiet.
Because I'm kind, I think hers looks very, very much better.
It's not a contest though. And I'm going to draw how I draw because I've practiced it for longer. And you're going to draw how you do it because you're the artist. And we're going to take some time to do it some more. Hopefully you join us next time. Thanks.